Hey, welcome back to Americhick Art. My name is Vicky, and today you're going to see a stress drawing. I normally don't share the process of these, but I figured it was perfect because this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and what better topic to go over? For me, mental health has always been a struggle. I've had episodes of depression since my late teens. I wasn't formally diagnosed with it until my mid-20s, but it also came with a diagnosis of general anxiety disorder. Things get a lot compounded with stress, and this is where I start drawing. This is partially the reason why I learned how to draw in the first place. This is the reason why I continue working on learning how to draw. It's a way I cope with stress. It was a way to cope with my divorce, and it gives me a healthy outlet for my stress. There is a huge but with this, though. Sometimes I get too stressed out to draw. Sometimes I feel broken or ripped apart. My ideas, my creativity feels blanketed. I feel tired all the time, and whatever sleep I do get, it feels like it's not enough. And all in all, I feel foggy. My mind is in a complete fog when this comes up. So, what do you do in these sorts of situations? Well, what do I do is the question. I've learned how to cope with this type, and I slow down. I use art as a distraction or a therapy, and I normally don't share these. I mean, you'll see the end results if I decide to share them, but I normally do not share my stress art. And that's because I'm not normally proud of it. It's mainly a lot of symbolism. It's a lot of what I feel at that time. But I try to at least represent it in some way. I wanted to share this one in particular because I actually was proud of the way it turned out. I went through a depression downswing this last week, and with the downswing, it gave me a lot of stress. When I got stressed out over something that happened at my job, I couldn't think. I couldn't even understand what was going to happen in my brain. It took me 3 days to come up with the concept for this art. 3 days to come up with the concept for this video. It normally doesn't take me that long. In fact, it's usually at the forefront of my mind. What am I going to do for the video? I do my own personal art on the side, and I record for YouTube my progress throughout the week, but I think of one big piece for YouTube, and then I do small side pieces in a separate book or something. So when this came up, it took me a bit to figure it out. So I decided not to feel guilty of not being able to create of the original video I wanted. As you all know, this week's Mother's Day, and I was going to do a tribute to being a mother. But when I got so stressed out due to something else, I couldn't create it. I was blocked. So this is my workaround. So I want to take a little bit to talk about the piece itself. In the ways this girl represents what I'm thinking. I know it's not exactly accurate portrayal of my body. Believe me, it's not that I don't know how to draw big people. It's more along the lines of I didn't want to think about it. So I sketched everything out before I started my line work for the video, mainly because I didn't know how much detail I wanted to put in. I put in how I felt. I felt broken or ripped apart. I felt my creativity blanketed. That's what you're seeing in the symbolism. And I feel tired. I'm still recovering from the event of stress, and I feel tired all the time. Even the energy drinks that I do drink aren't even helping. So it takes a little bit more. So in order not to feel guilty, I just put down what I felt as in some sort of journal for this. The colors I chose were mainly how I was perceiving it. The blue in the first one, the broken apart, ripped apart one, that's mainly to represent the sadness and depression that I was feeling. The middle one is supposed to be dark and how it feels blanketed. I mean, there is some light showing. That's how it is, but it feels many layers of blankets are piling up on my creative inspirations, my sources. And it felt like that for many days. And of course, the sleep. Purple happens to be one of my favorite colors, but it's more of a mellow out color for me. So sleep is represented by purple. And putting in where I wanted to be at that moment. I wanted to go to bed, but I kind of couldn't. And then the background is green, as mental health awareness is supposed to be represented by a green color. It also makes everything else pop. Coming up, you'll see me use some silver and gold gel pens. This is to say that there is a silver lining out of all this. That I am stronger for coming out of what I'm feeling and making it through to be able to push myself to make this piece. Before I leave off for the rest of the video, here is the comment of the week. The question of the week for the comments. What do you do to cope with stress? What do you personally do to cope with stress? here's the final piece. I am quite proud of myself for being able to come up with a design that showcased some of my skills that I can keep going through the stress. Feel free to subscribe to see more art from me to help me follow through my journey. And hit a thumbs up to help support my channel. Also, there is going to be a special video coming out this week, not on my normal upload date. It should be coming out Wednesday as part of a collab with a different artist. So see you then.